obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. Call right now. 800-597-9323.
Out-of-date carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleveland, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleveland, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they've got you covered.
Let's be honest. Wheelchairs are heavy, bulky, and ugly. If you carry a wheelchair in your car to take care of a loved one, you know how hard it is getting that clunky, old-style wheelchair in and out of your car. Introducing the Feather Chair Wheelchair. At 13 pounds, it's the world's lightest wheelchair. It folds in seconds and fits neatly in your trunk, backseat, or closet, so you can take it everywhere. And it's only available right here. Order yours today and get a free wheelchair case, a $50 value, yours free. The Feather Chair. The world's lightest wheelchair is just $4.99 with easy payments as low as $16 a month. Sorry, no Medicare or insurance accepted. So call right now to order yours.
800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. That's 800-823-5826.
Out-of-date carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleveland, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleveland, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they've got you covered.
You're listening to Joco Community Radio.
Happy Friday, Jobfather Nation. We are so excited to be here with you today with Joco Community Radio. Joco Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is live 365 on the TuneIn Radio Network. To listen or watch, simply go to tuneinjoco.com. The app is now available for free on both Android and iOS devices. Simply search your store, check out our lineup and more at jococommunityradio.com. Guys, women, family, Jobfather Nation, it is an exciting Friday. We have got some great things lined up, but before we get started, let's bow our head for a quick word of prayer. Father God, we just thank you again for another beautiful Friday. Thank you, Lord, that we have the opportunity to help connect and network with job seekers and job transitioners throughout the globe. Lord, use us to help these individuals, to connect individuals. And Lord, we just pray that we would always be mindful to give you the glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Well, Foster, we're excited. We're here today with our wonderful hype lady, Mez, behind the scenes, making things happen.
Hey, Mez.
Tiffany, we love being part of Joco Community Radio, such a fabulous radio station. Foster, oh my gosh, share with us who you have on the show today.
Well, we got an exciting show today, guys. We got Kevin Landers with us, and Kevin is a recruiter over at TI, and Kevin and I have been friends for a long time. So Kevin's going to share some things with us today that he's noticed in the job search. He's going to let us know about TI. Any questions that you guys may have about TI, hey, put it in the chat. You guys don't be ashamed to show up in the chat. I see My buddy is with us, Sharon from the Thomas Edwards Group.
Hey, Sharon.
Hey, Sharon. And of course, Jason Hopper is with us as always. Jason's usually there with us, and we appreciate you, Jason. And guys, also on the second half of our show, we got a job seeker today. We got a good one. We got my buddy Mark Clifford. We're
All
going to learn
right.
all about Mark. Mark he gets into the details with the operational end and the delivery end of technology. So we're going to hear all about that, and we have some recruiters from IT companies that are listening to us today because I wanted them to be able to hear Mark and talk about what's going on in his job search. So that's what this show is all about, guys. We want to we want job seekers and companies to meet wonderful people to hire. You don't get on the Jobfather show unless you have been what's our thing, our golden seal of approval.
Yes, you have to be vetted
Yeah,
and
you gotta be,
earn that golden
you
seal of
do.
approval.
Dana and I meet a lot of people, and we network. That's our main goal. Judy
Yes.
Wardle, I said your word. Let me do the. Judy always does
What is
this.
this? Network,
That's
and
right.
relationships. That's our key words
And you guys don't
right
think
here
about
and
it.
right here. Network and relationships.
I got to get close. You said relationship. So we get a chance to observe, Dana and I and Mez and others, we get a chance to observe you guys when you are networking. And that's how we meet you guys. And that's how we get impressed and we endorse you guys by what we see. Not just because there's a button on your screen, but I have gotten a chance to see Mark and hear Mark in the networking. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna ask Mark if he wants to be on the show today with us. So awesome, awesome. You're right, Jason Hopper. I am a net weaver. That is what I do. Hey, Rex out there, Valerie Baggett, good to see you.
We love
Uh
our Rex. He's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, Rex usually has good for questions. So guys, real quick, while we are on this, let me quickly get over to Kevin. Kevin, can you hear me? Is your sound working?
I can hear you.
Awesome, awesome,
You
awesome.
got me? All right, good.
Yeah, yeah. That's the main thing we want to do is hear you. But
Yeah.
before we get there, guys, we still got a couple of jobs that we're trying to fill. I want you guys to send your resumes to me, Foster.Williams at sbcglobal.net. Let me tell you again, Foster.Williams at sbcglobal.net. If we are not linked in, and you're hearing my voice, please link in with me and Dana. I'm
Please.
Foster Williams. When you see Foster Williams, it'll say the job father. You know you got the right one. There's only like two or three of us
Oh,
in the
come
whole
on.
world.
There's no other job father. You're the
Well,
original mold.
I am the only job father, but there's two or three. I was surprised to see that there were two or three Foster Williamses out there. So let me tell you guys about these jobs real quick. So we are still looking for a director of HR over in Dallas, actually over in Plano at the Hope Center over there. So if you're a director of HR, we need to talk. A new HR department is being built, and it's going to be a fun position. It's a nice paying position. It is a director level, guys. So you're going to have at least probably 8 to 10 years of leadership in HR. Uh, and you know what? We also need a material planner. If you are in manufacturing, you've been in material planner, let's talk. Send your resume to me, Foster.Williams at sbcglobal.net. Okay. Those are our two positions. Now, real quick, guys. Now, we seem to be back on Dana. I'm excited because we seem to be back on the landings are up. We had quite a
Yes.
few landings this week. So I want to congratulate a few. I won't be having time to go through all of them, but a few of you guys. Number one, my buddy Michael Wandersky, me and his dad hang out, Frank Wandersky. Hey, Frank, you're probably listening because you know I'm going to talk about Mike. Mike is Frank's son, and he is an associate manager of corporate IT communications at Stryker. And a lot of you guys know about Stryker. Go and check them out. If you are in healthcare, if you're interested in getting in healthcare, check out the Stryker website. Stryker. And we've got Michael. He will be more than glad to help any kind of way that he can. He just landed over there, so let's give him a couple of. We got other people over at Stryker, as a matter of fact, but Michael's going to be our number one contact at Stryker. So congratulations, Michael, and another Michael Roy. I think it might be Wah. For you Canadians, that's how you guys say that, Roy. And he's tech services associate at Geico. So some of you guys might want to go and check out Geico. We got a contact over there now. I want to congratulate Micah Bailey. And Micah Bailey is starting a position at health insurance specialist at Med Mutual Protect. And Micah Bailey is over there. So you guys check out Micah. And he's an insurance specialist there. One more we're going to go through, and that is Crystal Kazuba. And she's got a new position at North Texas Regional Coordinator at Combined Arms. So congratulations to all of you guys. I'm excited to announce when we have landings. That's what this show is all about, to bring you guys good information. And it looks like Holly Doty is with us. Hey, Holly.
Hey, Holly.
Thank you for the introduction a while ago. And Holly landed too. So, hey, guys, if you listen to this show, you're going to land.
Hey, I'm excited to land. I am seeing that there are quite a few positions out there.
Yeah.
I have been interviewing. I'm also working on my SPHR certification. I hope to sit in about, let's see, I have an 8-week course. So what would that make it? June, July, hopefully some point in August, no later than September. So, but I will tell job seekers, if I may intercede just real quick.
Intercede, go right ahead.
I know sometimes people get discouraged, and I see a lot of messages and whatnot on LinkedIn. Please know that the market is picking up and there are opportunities. Yes, it's more saturated than the past, but God will open the right door for you. And I started out this journey very nervous. I had never been through a layoff before. 20 plus years of employment. And I have seen God work some amazing miracles during this time. And I know the right position for me is right around the corner. And I know the right position for you is right around the corner.
That's right. And you guys got to get out there and network and find out about those positions.
Yes.
You guys know half of the positions that are available to us in the network are not even publicized. They don't even get that far. So that's why we network. That's why we meet people and we build those relationships that Dana and I always talk about. Oh, I'm supposed to get real close to the screen when I say relationships, Dana.
You made me think of a question, Foster, and I'm trying to remember. When is Craig's next awesome networking event? Because I would like to plan to come to that one. That is the second Tuesday in.
It is. It's the second Tuesday of every month.
Okay, so
not every month. I'm sorry, every other month. So we just had an event this month. So we're going to skip July. No, we're going to skip June, and our next one will be in July.
Okay.
I will be getting with you guys after all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I'll keep you guys up with it. It is an event, guys, called Meet the Recruiter. If you're job search, don't you want to meet the recruiters, especially the ones that work for companies that you're interested in, or you may have seen a job posted at that particular company. It might be one of your target companies. I strongly suggest, I know people are industry agnostic, some of you guys, but find some companies. There will always be a company that is similar to where you've been.
Yes.
And, that makes sense. And so we're going to talk about a company now. I'm going to talk with Kevin about Texas Instruments.
Hello.
Do you guys, I think everybody out there is familiar with Texas Instruments, even the people that are not in Texas.
Oh, yeah, that's where all our calculators come from as kids in school. If they even use those anymore.
You just dated yourself, Dana.
I just dated myself.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, my apologies on the video. I think I have a different setup, and my WebEx has hijacked my video. So we tried a few things, but if it kicks in, great. Otherwise, we're just going to do old-fashioned radio.
Hey, that's okay. We're glad you're here. You've got a
That's
great
right.
radio voice, Kevin.
He
All
does,
right.
doesn't he? He really does.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
guys, Kevin's last name is Landers. Mez has put it in the
Landers.
chat. Landers, Landers, and we just talked about a bunch of Landers, didn't we?
We did.
Kevin's a different kind of lander, but
Yeah, that's right. Always good to have Landers.
yeah.
Kevin, what is your role at Texas Instruments? Share a little bit about you before we
Yeah,
hop into it.
Yeah, love to. I'm in recruiting and have been at TI for 9 years. So started
Yeah,
back
it's
in
been a while.
2014 and been in several different roles and love working there. I know Foster and I were talking about, what is it about TI that you like? Why do you continue to work there? Why do you stay? And so many different things. So in fact, let me touch on that.
Yeah, do.
Because that's something that I love to talk about. Why TI? Number one, I think it's the people I work with. So many times, if you don't like the people, if you don't like your boss, if you don't like the environment, your working environment, you want to leave. You want to walk away. And I work with so many good people, good folks at TI. And to be honest, so many smart, so many intelligent people. So many times I'm like, wait, slow down. I'm trying to keep up with you just because, sharp guys, geniuses. But so it's an honor to be able to work with such a good group of folks. And
I know.
I think another one is just, it's a good, solid company. So size, strength, stability, those 3 S's are key because it's, for the most part, you're not going to see wide swings. It's not going up and down. There's not that extreme volatility that you may see with a smaller company.
Or I was on the RPO side, Kevin, and with Korn Ferry, as a talent acquisition leader for the whole U.S. and RPO just overnight took a dive. U.S., Europe, Singapore, even in Brazil, and there were ongoing layoffs since the end of last year, since I think like the end of the third quarter of last year, not even the fourth quarter. And I didn't think my account was going to get affected because we were performing at top-notch levels, but unfortunately that wasn't taken into consideration. They had to reduce probably their force by a significant amount. So I love the fact that TI is a much more stable environment for individuals.
Right. Yeah, it is. And I like the fact that we've made some adjustments, going back 2018, 19, it was all on site. You got to come in, be here at work on site, and then of course,
COVID.
2020 hit. Exactly. And so I think we realized, hey, we can adapt, we can adjust. There was proof that we were productive and effective from home. So, now we've kind of morphed into a hybrid model. I come in 3 days a week, so working from home. And I think that's a recruiting perk that I love to talk about. Just the fact that we do have work schedule flexibility.
Yeah, the hybrid workforce.
Right.
Hey, Kevin, what are some of the things that you guys are looking for? Now, what I understand, and I remember back in the day, you guys, I don't know if you were involved in some of the semiconductor hiring, but are you? And what's hot at TI right now? What would you like for a lot of job seekers to hear about TI?
So, I'd like to 5 or 6 positions or areas, roles that I want to call attention to. One, industrial engineers. So several areas that we're hiring, but that's key. Facilities engineers, equipment engineers, equipment techs, also manufacturing supervisors, manufacturing techs. So, the focus of these positions it's primarily manufacturing in the semiconductor industry. And that's key because sometimes I do get folks that they may have experience in a completely separate industry. So it's somewhat difficult. Not that it's a non-starter, but it is a plus if they do have some semiconductor experience coming in. So those primary areas, though, especially industrial engineers.
Hey, Kevin, if someone goes to TI's website, do you guys keep it up pretty well? The jobs that are posted on the website, are they pretty active? That's a tough question to ask somebody. What are you going to say, Foster? No.
Well, of course they do. They're a huge company. What ATS do you use, Kevin? Are y'all on Workday?
Yeah.
That's a great question. Do we keep it up? Is it maintained? We're using Taleo, but I would say yes. We've been doing a great job lately. We've really cleaned it up, so it's sharp. So if someone goes to careers.ti.com, they're going to see our latest and greatest. They'll get the positions, and semiconductor is, like any industry, it's up and down.
Oh yeah.
We did such a great job of hiring last year that things have kind of stabilized a bit. So it's not gangbusters like it was last year, hiring left and right. We still have needs, though. And because I was just looking yesterday afternoon, okay, what exactly do we have in Dallas? What positions are open? And kind of getting a feel. We typically hire, at least we have a larger need for analog design, some digital design, but primarily the analog design, test, hiring systems engineers. Right now, not as many, so many more on the manufacturing side. But I think the website, to answer that question, would do an accurate job, a good job of reflecting
That's
it.
good. And I asked that question because it's, a lot of companies, and when I say a lot, guys, I'm talking about probably a 50 or 60 percentile, are not really up to date and keeping their what's on the website up to date, posted, because you know how well Dana does, because she's a recruiter and she knows our world. Maz knows our world. We come out of meetings and things are hot. Okay, guys, we got to go find this person, and they come running to Kevin and Dana and I and say, "Oh, we need one of these people." And honestly, probably it's already hit the network, because when we come out of those meetings, everybody's like, "Hey, do you know one of these people?" And Kevin, I might send somebody your way every once in a while, whether you got a position or not, because I work for National Semiconductor. I did a contract for National Semiconductor back in the day, and Thompson. I was I
Oh
was
yeah.
with Thompson
Okay,
for
good.
about a year on contract. I had good time in semiconductor. I like semiconductor. And guys, TI is not all semiconductor. Now, they've got a lot of other things outside of semiconductor. So Kevin is our connection. If you have a question about that, Kevin and I talked about it yesterday. Kevin is okay with you guys reaching out to him and saying, "Hey, Kevin, what about this? I got this question," that kind of thing. Kevin is a giving person like Dana Mez and I. And Kevin, would you mind giving us your email address?
Yeah, it's my name. So Kevin Landers at ti.com. No
No
spaces.
spaces. Kevin,
Yeah.
what would you say are the majority of areas you're hiring right now? Like, if you could just give us maybe some of your greatest needs right now.
I would say, we've had a tough time with the equipment engineers because
Okay.
we're looking
Oh,
for
okay.
someone with specific thin film, just the specific semiconductor background,
Okay.
that type of experience.
Right.
Yeah, that's, the equipment engineers, some of those industrial engineers. We have an opening on our website for someone with a semiconductor test engineering background. So quite simply, someone with a double E with maybe at least 5 or 7 years of experience in semiconductor, in the semiconductor industry with specifically test engineering experience.
Okay. Okay. A good friend of mine's a device engineer, Kevin. He gets involved in yields and all that sort of thing. I told
Mm.
him, I don't know if he has already, but I told him to reach out to you on LinkedIn and connect with you and say, Foster told me to do it. So,
Hey, and I like that
yeah.
because sometimes people are reluctant to reach out or they feel like, I probably don't have the right thing or he may not be able to help. But my thinking is, oh, you're right. I may not be able to help you, but maybe I can direct you to someone else that could help
Yeah,
you.
Hmm.
exactly. That's all part of being in the network. Kevin, I'm
Right.
glad you brought that up because I want to encourage our listeners. Um, I'm pretty sure the majority of people, whether they're in talent acquisition or not, whether they've been through a layoff or not, whether they realize what's going on in the market or not, a large part of professional corporate America understands what's going on right now. And I have noticed just a outreach of people willing to help network. Don't
Yeah,
be
that's
afraid
true.
to reach out and ask for help because it's all about making connections and networking. And there are great people like Kevin and Foster and many of us out there that have a heart to help.
Yeah, we do.
Right.
And Kevin, I like y'all. I like Kevin's last name for. Wouldn't you want to connect with a recruiter with the last name of Landers?
I mean, it is pretty cool. It
Isn't that
sounds
what
like
y'all are trying to do?
you know what it sounds like?
That's
Landers
right.
Winery and Vineyards.
Oh man.
I love it. I love
Uh-oh.
that idea.
Kevin, we might have an idea for a retirement, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm
Exactly.
glad that you're going to get a chance to hear Mark with us today because Mark is probably going to check out you guys' website because of what he does. There might be a interest or position over there at TI that Mark might be interested in. And
Yeah.
so, good. So, Kevin, what interested you? Now, I know you've been there 9 years, but what got you excited about going to TI?
That's a good question. So going back, dial it back. I think that the company reputation uh, had always been positive. A good company, integrity, good reputation. So
Yeah, they do.
some of
Yeah.
those aspects, but also I think it was an individual who had reached out to me.
Uh-huh.
He was a good, positive reflection of the company, and I thought he was a good guy. So you know that that played a
Yeah.
huge factor because to be honest, I couldn't have 9 years ago. I couldn't have told you much about the business, the semiconductor business going on at TI, because I think I knew more about the
Uh-huh.
calculators than I could
Exactly.
have told you.
Dana's
And
calculator.
what is it now? I think it's
Uh-huh.
2.6% of the business is
Really?
calculators. So
Oh my God.
I
And
can't believe I said that. It just came out and I was like,
that's the first.
oh,
You remember
yeah, that was
everybody had that
good.
TI
everybody
99.
thinks
Yeah.
that, though.
Oh
That's
my
what I
God. I
think.
remembered what it was.
I used
And
to.
Kevin, Mary Leone is probably listening to us. And
Oh, Mary,
hey,
hello.
Mary, if you're out there, I don't know that you are, but if you are, and a lot of times you are, we just wanted to say, hey, Mary. Mary and Kevin got a chance to work together when she was at TI.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I hope she does listen. I'm going to have to reach back out to her and say we gave her a shout out.
Yeah, we are almost up to the time for a commercial. You'll start to hear music when that starts, when the commercial time starts. And Kevin, we really, really appreciate you being with us. I want to invite you back on the show at a later date this year because you and I talk all
That
the
sounds
time.
great.
We see each other all the time, and Kevin speaks sometimes and is willing to speak at a lot of our groups.
That's
So,
great.
this is what it's all about, guys. This networking. We make relationships. Dana, Mez, and I. We get out there. We see people that we like, and we talk to them. We build a relationship, and then we got something to talk about right here on this show. I love it. All
Absolutely.
right,
Yeah.
I hear music,
Thank you for
guys.
having me on.
So thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you,
Kevin.
Kevin. Talk to you soon.
You're welcome. Appreciate it. Next time I come on, I'll try to make a video
That'd
appearance.
be
You'll
awesome.
be fine.
All right.
See you
Bye
on
bye,
the other
y'all.
half, people.
Thanks for coming.
If you're trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581.
Out of dead carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleveland, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleveland, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they got you covered. Out of dead carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleveland, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleveland, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they got you covered.
Joco Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
Welcome back, Jobfather Nation. We are on the second half of the show, and just a quick reminder, we are brought to you by Joco Community Radio, which is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is live 365 on the TuneIn Radio Network. To listen or watch, simply go to tuneinjoco.com and choose where and how. You can also download the radio app, and it's available for free on both the Android and iOS devices. Simply go into your store and search for Joco Community Radio. This episode and more brought to you by Patriot Claims, making your insurance work for you. Well, Foster, what a great first half. We are so excited to have Kevin on the show. It sounds like an incredible organization. I've only heard good things about TI. And now share with us some of the exciting information on who we're going to meet with on the second half.
Yeah, guys. Before I introduce you guys to Mark Clifford, I want to ask everybody if you would go to LinkedIn and find Joco Community Radio, and like and share it, guys. It's important that this show get out to as many people. We know I want to let you guys know, please reach out to me and Dana, Mez, all of us, because there have been a number of big box people that have been hit with layoffs. And you know, Dana, I meant to tell you this morning, I think a 20 percentile of people at ZipRecruiter have been laid off as of starting this morning. So guys, if you're out there, sooner or later, you will hear about this show. I want to encourage you to connect with Dana and I on LinkedIn. And so with that being said, I want to introduce you guys to my buddy, Mark Clifford. Now, I'm going to tell you what I'm excited about Mark Clifford. Guys, Mark is an integrated. Now, if you have issues with cloud platforms, data, you know, a lot of times, all the time, the IT departments of companies are buying new technology. Well, you have to make sure migrate that technology somewhere. You have to make sure that it's implemented in your system, all that kind of stuff. And Mark's going to be talking about that today. He is a VP level. He is a executive that takes care of all that kind of stuff. And so, Mark, hello. Let's talk about you a little bit and what you're looking for and what you've been doing. Because I think you were at J.P. Morgan Chase last, weren't you?
Yes, yes, it was. I did 2 stints at J.P. Morgan Chase, and just kind of by way of entry, I would just like to say, first off, thanks to all the people gathered here. Thank you so much to Foster for the invitation to, put myself out in front of everybody.
Yeah.
The other thing I'd like to say is, bluntly, 15 years ago this time, I came down to Dallas. And when it came to data, I was pretty much functionally illiterate. Okay. I really didn't know a darn thing. But within 3 to 4 months of me starting, Chase had already taken over Bear Stearns.
Oh,
Chase
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. Chase was soon to take over Washington Mutual.
Uh-huh.
And the Obama administration was elected, and they were very keen to help homeowners because the number of people going into default was just like astounding.
Yeah.
Unprecedented. So duties that I was not supposed to have, but I quickly took on were, well, we've got to try to digitize a lot of things around here.
Oh, yeah.
We're not. And I had a fair amount of experience doing that, believe it or not, even 20 years ago. And somebody has to be able to take all the data we have from 30 different specific applications.
Jeez.
And across 3 companies, because they were not integrated, I assure you.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
And the federal government wants specifically both the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and more importantly, the U.S. Treasury, who's administering these programs to help homeowners. They need this data. Okay. And so, and you're the guy. So, quickly it became apparent that our substantial lack of digitization was really killing us, because we were getting incomplete information. We were getting inconsistent information. Like, here's some basics about Mark Clifford, but then here's some other information that's important for the federal government, and it doesn't really, frankly, reconcile properly with the other information we have about Mark Clifford. So we had to create rules engines, and I think we created one in about 4 to 5 weeks. That, and this, by the way, at this point I was on the analytics side, that applied all the rules the federal government had, because they literally would reject the records otherwise. Okay, if there were inconsistencies, they would bounce them, and then the people would not be officially enrolled in the government's program. So, and then we had another 150 edits on top of that were, if this record doesn't make sense in terms of these rules, there's probably, specific flaws, and then, other flaws, in terms of data inconsistency. So that was my going from like a 1.5 on a scale of 10 knowledge about data to like a 6 in a matter of a year.
Yeah, you shot halfway up the scale.
And getting yelled at by different business leaders, getting yelled at times in so many words by the federal government. It was a very pressure-packed baptism of fire way to learn about data. So fast forward to 2023. Likewise, 5 years ago, like most of the IT professionals out there and analytics professionals, I really didn't know a darn thing about the public cloud. But now in 2023, I know a great deal about the public cloud and how to deploy it, what some of your pitfalls are going to be unless you plan for them in the transition, the criticality of metadata, which is really, this is how I would kind of metaphorically describe this, is imagine that I invited Foster to come into my new library, and he walked in the door and there were a pile of 4,000 books laying in the middle of the floor.
Oh, man.
none
I'm
of
already
which,
overwhelmed.
yeah, nobody has spent the time yet to say, well, who's the author of this book? When was it written? What's the topic? Is it fiction? Is it nonfiction? That's what metadata is. And that's why a big verb in data is curate. That's what librarians do. They curate books. They curate materials,
Huh.
which means organize them so that they can actually be used, if that is making sense. So there's a whole lot of folks that before, when they were just on-prem, they really, they didn't worry too much, if they had incomplete or inaccurate metadata. Everybody, frankly, anybody who says that our metadata is perfect, I'm highly skeptical of that, stance or that view. And so really the public cloud forced a lot of people, or it is forcing a lot of people, to really focus on effective curation of their information, because everybody is um, quite concerned that has a heightened degree of concern security wise about putting information obviously out there that you don't have complete information.
Yeah, everybody doesn't have the same system. It's that everybody's got different system. Everybody's running. That we buy different cars. We got different technology that we use at companies. Absolutely.
Yeah. So what I can offer is I've got experience on how to define and build data catalogs. I've got experience on picking out the right public data cloud product. I've written an extensive white paper on both the platforms and the criteria you should use to evaluate them.
Uh-huh.
Ditto with metadata, and ditto with entitlements, which really deals with who should get access to what data. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Which is
Uh-huh.
another area across the EU. Everybody thinks about this GDPR, which was an EU wide initiative that was put into effect, I think, in early 2018. But interestingly, a lot of countries in the APAC regions, and where I formerly worked, we do business in 100 plus countries around the world, including extensively in APAC. Those countries actually have put a lot more thought than the United States regulators have into assessing and promulgating regulations around when you can use a client's data. Okay.
Mark, this sounds like an opportunity. If a company wants to hire a Mark, they would probably want you to travel, maybe even quite a bit in the integration and
Yeah.
migration of some of this information. How much travel are you comfortable with at this day and time? Because you've had quite a bit of experience, like myself and Dana, and our career needs change as we go.
Yeah, so I don't. My children are all grown,
Me too. Yeah.
so I don't have any commitments in that area. And I've been talking ongoing with a specialized data integration company that is in 9 countries. They're in
Okay.
Poland, they're in
Yeah.
India, they're in China, they're in Australia, they're interestingly enough in Medellin, Colombia.
Oh,
And
oh,
so,
wow. Okay.
so they asked me, yeah, they have, with all the things I'm sure everybody's seeing in the news, they were in Mexico City and moved to Medellin. And, a lot of it has to do with the safety climate, unfortunately.
Right. And I wanted to ask you that. I wanted to ask you that earlier part of, when we were talking yesterday. I felt that what you did, and my understanding of what you did, I've been an IT recruiter for more years than I want to tell you guys. Uh, you companies that are listening overseas, and believe it or not, we do have companies overseas that are listening to this show right now. You guys can hire Mark, and Mark can show you how to do all the stuff that he's talking about. If you need governance from the the things that you have to do, that you have to report, the things that you have to abide by. He can
Mhm.
figure out all of these things and integrate your data likewise into those kind of situations. Now, am I lying, Mark? Am I?
Yeah, no, I think that was a pretty good summary, Foster.
Yeah,
Thank
because I'm trying to, at the same time, as an IT recruiter, and it takes a little bit more of some of us IT folks. There is quite a bit of detail, and if we can understand where, and I've got a number of people that I've got invited to listen to this show, to listen to you today. If we can understand where to apply Mark's skills, I
Right.
think we're doing it. I think we're doing a justice. Because if you have Mark now, Mark, you were a VP at your last company, right?
Yes. Yep, that's right.
So you're going to be the guy to come in and show them, okay, guys, we need this over here. We need this over here. You might even be, well, you would be the person to hire the components of getting all that done.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, as I said, I've been, if I didn't make this clear, going back to the mortgage crisis, I was on the analytics side. So I've been on the analytics side. I've been within IT. I've gone back to the analytics side. So I've gone back and forth. But when I was alluding to this capabilities document, I was in analytics, and basically we wanted to make sure the IT people had no misunderstanding of what we were demanding.
Okay. Yeah.
Be there, the kind of capabilities in great detail, not sweeping statements, not 40,000 foot statements, but very granular requirements that, were almost put them in a position to say, yeah, this application can do this, or it can't. And if it can, here's exactly how it will do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it would be, I guess it would be a different application on different backbones of whatever technology the companies are using, right?
Yep. Yeah. And in some cases there will be, of course, in a perfect world, you'd come into some kind of a green field, but there really is no green field out there as opposed to a brown field.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
If existing choices have been made, you just kind of have to, you at least want to be conscious to say, yes, I know that that's something that for this particular application, I'm not going to get that feature, a big thing for us to be very specific about it is we did not want to be in a CapEx, capital expenditure kind of world anymore. We wanted to truly pay by the drink. We wanted compute on demand. And when we weren't using it, we literally wanted to shut down and cost us zero.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
No, like, well, you'll need to reserve some compute, or, you're just going to be forced to deal with even having running costs, fixed costs over the weekend. We were adamantly opposed to that. And hence we have much more of a OpEx, like we pay as we go. We're not spending hundreds of thousands, or in a place like Chase, millions, tens of millions. Let's say building a ship that might have 200 passengers, it might have 50, it might have 1,000, but regardless, you've got this fixed costs invested in it.
Mark, do you have target companies? I'm sure somebody is probably in especially in our networking. It sounds like focus group. You've probably been asked that question.
Yeah. So B of A is a target company, and interestingly enough, I made a contact over there that just accepted just while we were on the show here.
Awesome.
So that's one. Morgan Stanley is another one. I've got plenty of contacts at Wells Fargo, but to be truthful, well, those are all kind of the normal targets. I would think most of the folks, regardless of what industry they're in here, data is finally somewhat belatedly being used as the asset that it really is. And it's an asset. I don't care if certainly if you're in financial services, certainly if you're in healthcare. But, if you're somebody that is, a manufacturing company, there's a ton of data that, with your machines that actually operate, are the heartbeat of your company in the manufacturing processes. A long time ago, by the way, I did work in a manufacturing company during college, but all, all of these devices and people are gathering and harvesting data, and it's invariably highly, you have so much more with like the Internet of Things. There's so much more information out there.
Oh man, there's so much.
You just got to make sense of it.
You do. You do. And data, obviously, guys, data can tell you where you're going, what's happening, who's liking what, all of that sort of thing. But you do need somebody there that can analyze that data. And it sounds like Mark has been in a full life cycle of this thing as he told
Yeah.
us through this whole process and how he ended up where he is. He was thrown in the middle of the thing. He was thrown under the bus and had to had to learn stuff from the beginning. But
Yeah.
as a recruiter, I hear a full life cycle process there.
Thanks.
Yes,
Yeah, I
agreed.
think the other thing I would mention too is that, I was everybody today. You can't open up your news feed and see AI being mentioned. Everybody in
Yeah, it's everywhere, right?
Right. But it's if again metaphorically, if I've got 160 IQ person, but I don't tell the technology what I'm trying to learn, and here's the information that I've given you, here's at least some foundational things about it. That AI is going to be either not be effective at all,
Yep.
or it's going to be far less effective than it could have been.
Right.
I was sitting on a panel 2 or 3 days ago talking about this, and the AI vendor, effectively, I kind of made it a little uncomfortable for them because, they had to keep saying, well, what he's saying is true, and, I want to see that technology succeed, where it makes sense.
Right.
But again, it's
at this point, I'll get a lot of trouble with some people, but there are a lot of people that I talk with that say AI is not intelligent yet, guys. It's not. It's not intelligent yet. You still need a person. You need a Mark that has been through the process. He's been to Rome. He can tell you how things go in Rome, and what a person wants to be extracted from that data and those kind of things. It's not a mechanical process. This data thing is not a mechanical yet. I know that we're going to completely continue to continue to put money into this AI and all of this stuff, and it's going to get better. But today, I don't think AI is intelligent yet. Foster said that nobody cares, but I said it anyway. So there.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think there's a lot of raw materials that that still need to be in place that are, for lack of a better word, let's say it's foundational. You can't put the walls up unless you can't put good walls up unless you've got a good foundation.
That's very true.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, we're getting close to the end of the show, and Mark, I wanted to give you a chance to really kind of just summarize for our listeners, what are the just kind of an overall summary of your background, just a concise summary of your background, what you're, and just kind of sum up what you're looking for. I don't know why I couldn't spit that out a little bit quicker, but
I am a cloud data, enthusiast who happens to have deep expertise in how to evaluate it and how to deploy it.
Great.
Yeah.
Love it.
Perfect.
That is amazing. Yeah.
That's perfect. Go ahead, Dana. Go ahead. You look like you're about to ask something.
No problem. I know we talked about a few companies that you might be targeting. How about industries? Are you industry specific at all, or for you, are you more agnostic, like Foster brought up earlier?
Yeah, I honestly, I'd be very jazzed up to step outside of financial services.
Really? Okay.
Yes, my background is extensively in financial services, But as I was joking about it, but I did work in a plant.
And a manufacturer. I remember you
Oh
said that.
yeah.
Yeah, in college. That's how I frankly paid my way through college. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. And when I got out of when I passed the CP exam, et cetera, I joined a company that had both financial services and manufacturing, and that's why I picked that company. And then I was there 6 months, and they sold all the manufacturing. So,
Oh man.
Sounds like corporate America to me.
yeah,
Yes,
that's how it rolls. So, so I'd be very open to that. And I think something I didn't say is, everybody's familiar with Wells Fargo, B of A, but there's, to the extent that there are smaller financial services companies,
Yes.
whether they're
Yes.
auto lenders or subprime auto lenders, or small commercial banks, they've got 1,000 people, that's the whole company. I if I had to choose in a perfect world between here's opportunity A with a gigantic institution, big bank, versus one that's smaller, nimbler, at this point in my life, I would be inclined towards the smaller, nimbler.
I
Okay.
was expecting that you were going to say that. Hey, Mark, how do we get in contact? I want, guys, it is, once again, it's Mark Clifford. You guys, not Clifford the big red dog, but spelled the same. And I want you guys to link in with Mark Clifford. And Mark, what is your email address so that the companies can send you direct contact?
Yeah, it's M as in Mark, dot T as in Thomas, dot Clifford 44 at gmail.com.
Mark, thank you for that. Mez will put that comment up for us. She's amazing. And real quick question. Foster knows this. As recruiters or talent acquisition leaders, when we're interviewing people, what we realize is, we're looking at our hard skills, which are the things that we brought up today, right? We talked about your specific skills as it relates. What about your soft skills? What are the qualities about you that would set you apart from other candidates?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Thank you for, that's a great lead in. So, I've managed groups of as many as 150 people. When I, took this job I was alluding to that sold to manufacturing, within a year and a half of me being there, I was managing a team of 90 people. And, this is just sort of one anecdote, but when I write people's reviews, I'm one of those guys who, whatever the characters are now in a technology world, because it used to be on paper, I run out of space because I really want people to have as close to little to zero ambiguity about what I believe about their performance and the metrics that back that as anybody, to the point where, this job I mentioned where I had 90 people reporting to me, I got critiqued by my bosses because, Mark, you give them too much information, basically.
There's our music. Mark, I'm sorry I got to cut you off, but we're going to get cut off. There's our music. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. You're amazing. Hire
We'll
Mark.
see everybody next Friday.
Steve.